Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine, and I have a What's on My Desk today. And I also have a isolation for the nation. Self-isolate, people. Stay home. If you can't stay home, stay safe and craft on. All right, that's it. I'm going to try not to talk any more about isolation so that we can have a little break from it. But I couldn't not say anything. I want everyone to know that we're all in this together. And I'm up here in my studio and I'm thinking about all of you, and I'm hoping you're safe. I'm hoping your loved ones are safe. And yeah. And then we're going to get on with getting on, because our ancestors have lived through tough things too. We're all here because somebody survived smallpox, and somebody somewhere survived polio, and somebody somewhere survived Spanish flu. And we're all here. So we can do that too. Anyhow, I'm working on The Attractive Home. Eakin Wallach is still staring at me. Don't you think if he wasn't so frighteningly glaring at me all the time, he could be a historical hottie? I don't know how many of you on Twitter follow historical hotties, but he really, if he would just like tone down the intense look, he could be really a historical hottie. So, where are we? I did a little bit of work this morning and I didn't have the camera going. I fussy cut a little window scene with a lamp and side table, and I put it right here. I thought that looks cute. I didn't want to cover up the 1916 to show how old the book is. The actual tiny copyright date of 1916 is on the back of this page. So I had to make a decision. Do I keep the one on that side? Fortunately, because this was so pretty, it also said 1916 there, so I did not have to make any kind of sacrifice. Now, another thing I did this morning was I had a tiny little 1-inch piece of paper still sticking out this side because I opted to put this stationery to bend it, to fold it off center. And that left me with this tiny little stump. But what I did was I found the envelope that goes with that set, and I punched the edge, and I glued it so it's like a little tuck, and voila! So I'm happy with how that turned out. So I'm working on a few things here. I had a book I took apart. It was an appointment book, but it has William Morris prints all throughout it. Every other page is a William Morris print. So what I did was I made a little journaling sort of folder out of this one, and it's just got ledger paper on it, and I inked around it. I'm going to do something with that. And then I made 2 more here with journaling paper on it, and I chose that pattern. Which reminds me, Jen, you were asking which wrapping paper book I got the end papers out of. So hold on, I'm going to try and grab it without bashing my camera. No. Hold on. I should have got this out ahead of time. So, all right. Oh well, you're going for a ride. Sorry, people. Jen, it was this book, Classic Gift Wraps, English Chintz Floral Designs from the Victoria and Albert Museum. And it's just chock full of all those English chintz patterns, but these are sheets of wrapping paper. And that's what I used to create the end papers here. And I also had more left over, and I made some pockets, and I still have a bit more left over that I'm going to use making like tag tops. Here, I used one with this one. I made a little tag top for this little guy. So that's that's where I got the wrapping paper from. Now I'm going to sit back down. You'll notice I'm not creaking. I couldn't stand the sound of my squeaky chair anymore. And I brought up I have my dad's old paint stool. It's a marvelous old paint stool. To me, it's precious because it's got every single shade of paint that was in the house I grew up in. He used it. He always had his paint can on it to paint walls, or else he'd use it to climb up on and paint up around, cut in around the ceiling top. And I'll try and take a photo of it and post it on Instagram, because this paint stool, to anyone who saw it and didn't know what it was, would think that's a piece of junk. Oh, there's my phone. Hold on. Telemarketer. I swear they all know we're at home. So anyhow, I'm sitting on for now, I'm sitting on a wooden stool. So what I did already was I fussy cut a tiny little makeup table from the book. I fussy cut it out of from this page, and I think I just want to make just a pretty little vignette here. I think I want to put a bit of music, and then I want to put that. I think, or is that too much? I think that's too much black and white. We need a bit of color. Hold on. Let's see what I've got here. We need a little bit of color. That green is nice, and it would match the green, although I'd like a bit of lace. Do I have any green lace? I finally sorted through my little scraps bin. So this is my bin now officially of colorful ribbons and lace, of just little snippets. I think I'm going to add to it because I want green. Really want green. And then I have a massive bin of white and off-white and brown snippets. And of course fabric. Hold on. I'm looking for lace. Come on, I want some color. I gotta have some color. Well, there's brown. Sorry about that. I thought I had a nice green. And I do. I don't get me wrong. I do have a nice green somewhere. But of course, you can't find it when you want it. Right? That's the way these things work. I've got a nice green that's sort of like an olive green. That's the one I want, of course. That would still be nice. But I wanted a little teensy tiny pop of color. Oh well. I guess it's not going to happen today. What's that one? Black. Blue. No green. Maybe you're up there, green. Nope, that's rickrack. Oh, I found it! I found it! Yay! I don't know if you could hear me yelling from across the room. I found it! I want the green. I want green. Yay! Alright. Music, you can wait. Green. Come on out. One of my daughters is doing an excellent job of posting fun, distracting, chatty threads on her Facebook. And is it ever enjoyable? Today she asked people if they had a favorite old teacup and saucer. And people are posting pictures and talking about their teacup and saucer. And it's a lovely distraction. So I'm enjoying that very much. Come on. Come on. Thank you. I have 2 bottles of Fabri-Tac left. Do you think I will make it through the self-isolation with 2 bottles of Fabri-Tac? I've got tons of glue. Don't get me wrong. Tons of glue. I got Aleene's tacky glue coming out my ears. But the good stuff. And I've got tons of art glitter glue. Now, I do have some of these little bottles of the 3-in-1, and they really are the same thing. I find that it holds just as well as Fabri-Tac. So when it's time to start working on our domestic goddess books for Nancy and Donna and I need to make sure I've got enough glue. Thank goodness Amazon's still delivering, so I can resort to Amazon if I have to and have it dropped off at my house. Come on. There. That looks pretty. Now, where did it... Oh, there you are. I'm going to use the 3-in-1 because I want it to stick to that fabric. I'm quite sure Aleene's would work. But until I'm desperate, and I'm not desperate yet, so until I'm desperate, I'm going to be optimistic and use the good glue. Right? I'm awfully glad to have something that I'm mildly obsessed about. Because for someone to say, Catherine, go up to your room and don't come out for 6 hours. Woohoo! That doesn't bother me in the least. Bring it on, baby. I don't mind this at all. That looks cute. Now this isn't, it's firm, but it's not cardstock. And you know what? I'm okay with that. It's enough to write on and it's pretty, but not too bulky. Now, where is my tabs? Tabs. Maybe I want to put a tab. Let's see. Yeah, would that match on the other side? No. Green. I think that's the wrong green. Maybe no tab. Maybe no tab. Now that green's not bad, but I bet it doesn't look nice with that. I don't have any music. I thought I had some music tabs in here. Oh, I do. Woohoo. Oh, no. They're half tabs. I don't want a half tab right now. Wow, there's a really low flying plane going over. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you heard that. Wowee. Wow, it's going right past my window. Absolutely incredible how low it's flying. It must be going to land in the airport. 2 towns over has a small private airport. And I guess it's going over there, but wow, it looks too big for that airport. Now that's kind of cute. Yeah, let's put a little music on it. Okay. Oh, you're cute too. Maybe I'll put you on the next one. Do you recognize that? Alrighty. I always worry when really low-flying planes like that go over, because it reminds me, just after 9/11, there was another horrible plane crash that turned out was an accidental plane crash that crashed right into a neighborhood. Jeepers, there goes another one. What on earth is going on? Okay, these planes are huge to be flying into the small private airport 2 towns over. That's really weird. Anyhow, there was another tragic plane crash after the 9/11 plane crashes. I don't know if you recall. And it just crashed right in a regular neighborhood. It was horrible. So when I hear planes going over top like that, I think, uh-oh, is this it? Am I going to make the news today? Yikes. Oh, hold on. Want that a little bit inkier. All right. Glue? Glue. Wait a minute. Oh. Now, on a good note, on a you never know when you might need it note, when I was going through my glues today to see how I am as far as my stash, I found a whole bottle of 70% rubbing alcohol up here. And that can be used to sanitize hands. So I've put that aside. You just never know, because right now our stores up here are still running low on Purell and hand sanitizers. So I got that. If I need to, I can send it to work with hubby. He's the one I worry about most. For the most part, I'm hunkered in and I'm crafting to my heart's delight. I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't need to be that precise. Ah, that looks cute. Uh-oh. Glue. Thank you. All right. Let's do another. Little golden book. Let's put a little bit of you for a little bit of sparkle. Yeah. Alrighty. Now, what else from the book? What else? Any other little pictures? Oh, there's another one of the one that I put in the front. That guy. Cute. Oh, I like this one. Let's do this one. And then they can be sort of like sisters or brothers or siblings or whatever you choose. Now, of course, I can't. Oh, there they are. I have my timer set so that I don't rudely get cut off again. Like the other day when I had to post the last 45 seconds on Instagram. I guess I should have put that at the bottom in the comments under the video. If you want to see the last 45 seconds, please go to my Instagram. Because as ever, I talk too much. There you go. So I'm on top of dinner tonight. We're having meatloaf. Or as my hubby likes to call it, motloff. I like my meatloaf. I'm not a huge fan of mashed potatoes, but there are some things I like mashed potatoes with. I like mashed potatoes with meatloaf. And as my dad would say, rich brown gravy. And I also like mashed potatoes with liver and onions. And yes, I love liver and onions. Now, my hubby doesn't, and he doesn't even like the smell of it, so I have to have it if we go out somewhere or if he's not home, but I don't usually cook it for myself alone. So, but yeah, I like mashed potatoes with those. So tonight we're having motloff and mashed potatoes and green beans. He likes tomato sauce on his motloff. But I am a rich brown gravy girl with my motloff. And horseradish. Oh, I love horseradish on motloff. I'm leaving a little edge because I want to ink it. I think it'll look pretty. And I'm not sure how sturdy this would be if I took it too thin, because it's really crackable paper. It's old and fragile. So I'm just going to give a little bit of ink to give a bit of color and dimension. So I have sorted through a bit of my stuff here. Many of you are taking advantage of this feeling of spring, and I admire your cleaning up your craft rooms. I'm not ready to clean this room totally, but I have cleaned out a few bins. Like I said, I cleaned out my bin that had just ribbon scraps and lace scraps and little fabric scraps. I cleaned that out. So I was proud of myself for that. Yeah, I wonder if I want a little bit of lace. Let's do this. So yeah, so I tidied out my little lacy, ribbony, fabricy bin that I had. And I also cleaned out my working bin of indexy type cards, like index cards, Rolodex cards, bird watching cards, that kind of card. It was just a chaotic mishmash in one of my Tupperware bins. And I mean, I did have the wise sense to keep most of them still in storage boxes under one of my tables here. But I do have a smaller working box that I call it, and I refill it as needed, just so that I don't constantly have massive boxes. And so I I went through it and I sorted it because even amongst my index cards and similar type cards, I had them all mixed together. Even though they're all from thrift stores, I still had them all mixed together because I have some that really are just naturally yellowed. And I have some that you could tell they were still in the packaging. And although they were secondhand, they pretty well were brand new. And they're still fine. That still meets my secondhand rule. But I wanted a box with the yummy yellowy ones, and then a box with the ones that look rather newer and need a bit of assistance to look old. So I did that, and I'm really happy. I feel like I accomplished something there, and I had been getting some Honey Bunch journals ready for their new home. That takes a little bit of work. Fortunately, you can do a lot of it from home now. The post office lets you have set up a business account. And you can really get most of it done. For the most part, I usually am able to just hand it to them. They scan it and they go, yep, this is fine. And off it goes to its new home. All right. Now, let's put you... Oh, Bunny, I don't want you upside down, Bunny. Oh, I went and cleaned this and I'm still not done. Oh, well. Come on. Because of the the limited store access, stores are shortening their hours, which is good. It's smart, and I fully support them shortening their hours for their staff's sake and to encourage the people that still don't get that they need to be self-isolating. So I was very, very happy to see that stores, first of all, thank you to them, the employees who are still going in and working. Oh, that looks cute. A lot of our little town restaurants are still doing takeout, which again, hats off to them, and I'm going to do my best to support them so that we can all get through this. I know I should probably add some acetone to this, but I guess I should keep track of how many times I add acetone to a bottle of glue. I just worry that it... No way, it hasn't been 30 minutes. Don't tell me it's been 30 minutes. Do I talk that much? Oh my goodness. Don't answer that. Look at that. Ugh. All right, dismiss. All right, well, obviously this is going to take forever to get it out of here, and maybe in the meantime I will add some acetone to it and thin it down a bit. But that little guy is going to look like this, with a little Golden Book gold spine, and this one is going to look like this. I think those look cute to go in the attractive home. They look rather attractive, and they've got some William Morris paper on the back. All right, well, thanks for sitting and chatting and visiting with me. I'll see if I turn the camera on again or not, or maybe I'm done with the camera for today. Take care, everyone. Stay home, stay safe. If you can't stay home, stay safe. Bye.